boys! I am back again. Yay! I am ready. So, I really wanted to make a video on the storm that has been EXO in 2015 already. The boys are back. The boys are back. I'm so excited. Just gonna leave my sleeves up because they're getting in the way. If you hadn't already guessed, EXO is back with Call Me Baby, which is their new comeback song, which... damn. The song is catchy as hell. The boys' dances are just spot on. So good. They all look mighty fine, and it's just, I think it's probably their best comeback ever. Yes, as an EXO fan, it does still hurt that Luan and Chris are not there, but the rest of the boys are back, 10 boys are back, and they've done such a good job. Amidst all the stuff that's going on, because Chris and Luhan are still in their legal battles with SM Entertainment, they've done so well. I'm so proud of the boys. Okay, so first we had the path codes. They were little teasers in which you saw each member separately in different locations all over the world, giving you a little bit of a teaser as to what was to come next and what to expect. In each path code teaser, you also had a password to figure out with the help of their path code Twitter page that would then open up some extra goodies from each member every time one was released. So you'd get some photos, and there was like little video clips released as well, and they were amazing. It was so good, and all the fans could not wait for the next one because they seemed to get better and better as they went on. And you got to see their powers at work. The boys used their powers in some of them, and you had like little flashbacks. My housemate Alex, who is also my best friend, will also tell you that every time one was released, I shrieked a little bit because I've got YouTube on my phone. I could go through my subscriptions, and every time one came up I was like, ah, I can't handle this, I don't want to watch it. And she was like, it's okay, we can watch it, you'll be fine. I have a mirror on my bed, and the sun's shining into the mirror onto my face. I just realised I look really pale. So first up in the path code teasers, you had the dance genius Kai in London, which also made me freak out because me and Alex watched it together and we were like, that's Victoria train station, we've been in there, this is so and so, we've been there, and it was so good. He had obviously a few teasers to the password, and that was the first time you learned about the path code Twitter page as well, because he showed the side of his phone and it was like follow path code EXO, which was so good to have those little teasers and feel like you were working to figure something out. It was a brilliant way of doing it. Next up we had my bias Teo, who looked super awesome. He was sat in a cafe in Berlin. No, he wasn't. He was sat in a cafe in Barcelona rather, and all of a sudden the light exploded, and he froze time, well, slowed it down, kind of. He froze it and it slowed it down, and there was like glass fragments everywhere, and he like ran out of the cafe and knew something was wrong, and he like ran off, and he was looking hella manly and hella cute, and my ovaries were not ready. I was not ready. Next up we had Chenyol in Arizona, which he's one of the little crap bags that's ruining my bias in the minute. I think it's the grey hair. And the fact that in EXO Next Door he plays a bit of a dark, like, moody character, which I have a thing for. Anyway. He had a little bit of a vintage side going. He was in the middle of Arizonian desert, I think it's safe to say. He then walked to a forest, and there was a lot of majestic shots of him standing on rocks and stuff. And then he set the forest on fire. Next up, we had this little shit. Zoomin in Berlin, looking mighty fine. He's obviously been working out, you can tell from his live stages and the music videos. Hell to the yes. Zoomin's always been one of those that was kind of my favourite but never my bias, but since the comeback his dancing, the clothes he's been wearing, And he knows it, During the live performance, he keeps biting his lip and sticking his tongue out. What do you think you're doing? Stop. Girls cannot handle it. No. Back to the path code, actually. Back to the path code. In his teaser, you saw him walking kind of drunkenly back to his flat. He got into his flat, he was having a bit of a drink, and then his telly started doing some ring shining exorcism crap. Up on the screen came like white noise and like snow kind of thing, and the fans, you could see it was like written Edinburgh, so that was going to be the next one. He dropped his glass and it froze, powers all over the place, and it was just awesome. I think it is probably it's probably my second favourite path code. It was so good, and even his big fluffy hat was cute. Next up is my favourite path code teaser, which was Saehyun in Edinburgh. Saehyun's another member that's been creeping up on my bias. It was just amazing. It was so gripping. He was walking through the streets of Edinburgh and he had like a little ping thing on his phone where he could tell people where he was, I assume. And then he went to this house where there were these telekinetic kids that were making things float in the room. And he was watching them, and then all of a sudden there was like an eclipse outside, and he went running because there was like things flying through the wind, like across the windows, not through the windows, across the windows, and it was so good. I just had to watch it like over and over again. It was just so good, and Saehyun was again. Moving on. Next up, you had the lovely Suho in Marseille, and he just looked so cute. He woke up on the sofa, he was like in pale jeans and a white t-shirt, and for some reason he just reminded me of like a little bit of like a younger Suho, and I just wanted to hug him and be like, it's all gonna be okay. However, things did not end cute. There was like a running theme through the teaser where he was turning on the tap and there was no water, and he was holding his hand up to the sky and there was no rain. And there was this empty pool, and he went and sat in the middle of this empty pool, and then all of a sudden it was like the floodgates open. Powers. Constant theme in this comeback. Then you had the very scholar looking Chen in Almaty, and he looked cute. I'm not gonna lie, he looked cute, and I like a man who can read. And there was on the subject of reading, he opened a book which had overdose written on the front, which I thought was really clever. And then all of a sudden the eclipse started happening again. And he kind of dropped his book and he was looking. As if things weren't dark and mysterious already, they just got more darker, more mysterious, with Baekhyun in Lyon. Baekhyun minding his own business, and then all of a sudden lights start going out, music in his ear starts going a bit weird, and he's running for his life through the streets of Lyon, and he gets to a gate and he turns around, and all of a sudden little pretty lights and glitter start coming up from the ground, and poof, that's it. I was like, I need more. I need to know who this person chasing him was. On a side note, he was all dressed in black, leather jacket, a lot of eyeliner, which was very nice. Continuing on the dark theme, you then had Lei in Yunnan, China. A bit like Baekhyun, he's minding his own business. Lei is riding through the streets on his bike, gets to a cafe, restaurant kind of thing, orders tea, he's drinking his tea, reading paper, music in his ear, lights start going crazy, white noise in his ear. He was out of there like a shot. And nice little reference to Powers, he rode past a dead flower on the way in, and then on the way out the flower came back to life. But it was really dark. His and Baekhyun and Zoomin's, I think, were probably the darkest ones. They were sort of supernatural-esque. And it was like even. And they're amazing. So good. Last but not least, you had the lovely Dio in Colorado, and this one was kind of like a flashback frenzy. Kai had flashbacks of the Overdose era, where they were stuck in the maze at the beginning of the Overdose music video, and there was little bits of that in Dio's, as well as flashes from all the other path codes. And he was like driving around looking super sexy, and at the end he sat there on the floor in his apartment, and he has like the 10 silver balls that you saw in the the original teaser that was released ages and ages ago, there was like the EXO logo, and it was like the maze from Overdose, and the little balls walking around, like rolling around, and he had 10 of those, but in the teaser 2 were stuck in the actual logo maze to represent the fact that Chris and Luhan were not coming back. And he had those in his hand, the 10 balls, not 12, just 10. And he was like, he just let go of them and let them roll onto the floor. And it was just that, it was very symbolic, which I liked. And it wasn't as dark as the ones before. It was kind of like a lighter place to finish. That was it. Those were the 10 passcode teasers that you had, that you could get passwords for the website to release the photos. And the fans were ready. They were ready for their comeback. And they came back in amazing style. They released Call Me Baby. Before that they released a sneaky little song on YouTube, which was, I think it was for 12 hours. A little bit of a gift to the fans for going along on this passcode journey and sticking with them through the 2 members leaving. They released this song, I think it was for 12, it might have been 10. Anyway, they released it for X amount of hours, called First Love, and it was so pretty. They released it in Korean and Chinese on the YouTube page, and then after 10 or 12 hours, I can't remember which one, they took it down. As a little bit of a gift, like this is a teaser to what the album's going to be like, kind of thing. And then they released their album for pre-order, which looks awesome. It's called Exodus, and I think it's gold for Korean, silver for Chinese. I think that's the way around it is. And on each one you have like a picture of the member, and then when you put them all together it creates the EXO logo, so I'm sure fans will be buying all of them to create that on their shelf. But they released the pre-order for that and fans went nuts. And as if fans weren't going nuts already, before that they announced that they were going to be doing a web series called EXO Next Door. You're just spoiling us now. And then it came the time for their first music video back of their comeback, which was called Call Me Baby, which, if you remember months ago, we had that whole debacle of it being called Call Me Daddy, and everyone was creating memes and stuff. It was so good, and I was like, oh my god. Even I was like, if they call it Call Me Daddy, there's going to be so much. Oh, it was... Yes. Anyway, Call Me Baby, B-A-B-Y, as Suho spelled it out in their little press release. He made sure to spell it out so the fans couldn't get it wrong. The music video is amazing. So good. There's the dancing, the song itself, the set, the cars, the headphones, the clothes, just the overall thing of the music video blew my mind. I keep saying it, but it is definitely their best comeback for me. As if the boys haven't worked hard enough, they have been doing so many live performances of this song, and they also perform Exodus as well, which was mind-blowing. And with Taeyo not there, it's been the 9, and then sometimes Lay hasn't been there because he's been filming the Chinese version of Running Man. They've done so well, and they were finally rewarded with some wins. Show champion, I think SBS comeback stage, they also won first as well. So congratulations, boys. And also they've come in at 90 on the Billboard US charts. The highest ranking K-pop boy band of all time. Words cannot describe how proud the fans are for the boys. They have done so well, they've done amazingly, and it's all down to their hard work and determination, and well done. And also, as I mentioned earlier, the boys have released a web series. I've seen the first 2 episodes and it's just so funny. It's called EXO Next Door, where Sehun, Chenyol, Dio and Baekhyun move into Chenyol's granddad's house in the middle of a suburb area. No idols would be there, no famous people would be there, but they decide to move in to a unsuspecting, very funny comedic girl. This female role is played by the gorgeous, absolutely hilarious Moon Ga-young, who was actually born in Germany to South Korean parents. She moved back to South Korea when she was 10, but in this drama she's so good. You might have seen her in Killer Town or Bad Guy actually, which she was in, but she's so funny. Her character says that she has this like deficiency when talking to men, that she turns into a rock, which means that she can't speak to them, and she also turns a little bit red in the face, and by a little bit red in the face I mean like someone's just painted her red, or a pinky colour. It's more of a pinky colour, but it's hilarious. It's so funny. One thing I am loving about this show is the fact that Chenyal's character is kind of broody. I know they're playing themselves, but he's like a broody kind of man's man kind of in it, and it is a role that really suits him. It's so good and I'm really enjoying it. Even though these 4 are the main 4 members of EXO that are in this show, you still see other members. Like we got to see Kai in a little bit of a Skype call in the 2nd episode, which was really good. And it's so funny, so well written, so well edited, and I love watching it, and I can't wait for the next episode. I'm really hoping it's going to be out soon. It might already be out actually, I haven't checked. I should do that. Also, on the subject of Chenyal, he has done a little bit of a virtual date video stuff that you can see on YouTube, where it's a bit like, it's a date cam almost, where the first video was him sat in a library and you're kind of watching him and stuff like that, and you get to decide where it goes almost. So that's something to look out for. Also, Lei's going to be in Running Man. Taeyo's in a new film that's coming out. It's a Chinese film called My Sunshine, which he's got a little role in. Yeah, so they're all doing a lot of things actually. They're doing a lot of separate things, as well as doing things as a band, which we love to see. So with the album out, with EXO next door, with films, TV show appearances, and Sehun saying that he wanted to go on We Got Married. Please, please let him go on We Got Married. Please. So yes, with all this lovely stuff that's been given to us over the space of like a month. Just a month we've had all that. No wonder my brain and my ovaries are fried. Just, what are you doing to me? For the 3rd time. With all this stuff that they've been giving us, this is, for me, like I keep saying, the best comeback they've ever had, and I can't wait to see what else they bring for us. I'm so excited to see what the boys come through with, and I'm just so excited. One thing that has kind of dampened my mood is that some media outlets and military outlets have been reporting that all of the boys will be doing their military service next year. So that's 2 years where they'll not be here, but they'll be back, they will be back, we are one, no doubt about that. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed coming on this little bit of a recap of EXO Exodus comeback. Like I said, I hope you enjoy it. If you would like to see more of these videos, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe and share, and I will hope to see you really soon. I hope you have a really good day. Bye guys!